Okay.
I always forget that I can't point because
Well, you don't know
your
where
screen
anybody
might
is.
not be
Yeah,
where everything is on my screen.
I know. Welcome to Drams from Dividends.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Little
Ooh,
Talisker Dark Storm.
I'm
Oh, you
having.
didn't finish your drink there when we said tontine last time? Tontine!
I somehow did not agree to this.
You absolutely agreed to this.
Now I have to pour myself another one. Jeez.
That's rough.
I have my nice, tasty, to be savored Steamworks hazy IPA, flagship hazy IPA.
Still Drams from Dividends. Don't care what you say.
I'm having a dram, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
All
So,
right, boys. So
got a new investment for us, accountant?
I do, and the mechanic has no idea what we're talking about right now, and I'm so excited. So I went down a rabbit hole, a very long and winding and dangerous rabbit hole. And I got so far down the rabbit hole, I figured I just had to go for it because it seems interesting. So I've put some money into this, and you are now looking at the proud owner of a Bitcoin mining rig.
Oh, nice.
So the whole thing is ridiculous. It's completely obscene. I have no idea what's going on. I have a buddy who's very into Bitcoin, and I was just like, tag me along. We're going to just go on this ride and see what happens because it's too much of an experiment to not have fun with.
And we didn't get invited.
You didn't get invited. No.
So what is it?
Yeah.
So I've discovered that we talked about in our whole Bitcoin episode that you get rewarded with Bitcoins for mining blocks of
Chain.
Bitcoin chain.
Blocks of chain.
Blocks
right?
of chain, whatever the hell. I don't know.
In the wires and tubes.
In the
It's a
series of
thing.
wires and tubes.
It's a
You
thing.
didn't learn much on your rabbit hole, but you went down there.
No, I went down there.
It was
So-
dark.
So here's the thing is if you're mining Bitcoin and you happen to be the person who mines that block and gets rewarded the Bitcoin, right now you get 6.5 Bitcoin for mining it. So that's literally hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
But the risk is that maybe you set up your Bitcoin mining rig at your house and they have a useful shelf life apparently of 3 years. You could mine for 3 years and process all that data and never actually get one of the rewards and just
Okay.
be out I think it's about 12,000 US that it costs for one of these,
Plus the hydro bill.
plus the hydro bill. Or you
Okay.
can buy one of these rigs and send it to a Bitcoin farm, and they take all of the processing power and all of the Bitcoins that are awarded to that while you are plugged into said farm get distributed to everybody based on their computing power within the farm over the useful lifespan of your rig.
I want one.
Yeah.
We knew you would. That's why we didn't tell you.
That's why we didn't tell you.
But
Okay.
you know what I said to the accountant when he told me? I said, wow, that's way better than just buying a Bitcoin.
Yeah. Well,
Right?
I mean, you're okay. I think you're still assuming that you're then that Bitcoin will stay as a primary cryptocurrency.
Well,
You anticipate that it continues to inflate in price.
You haven't let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So, this is dependent on the average they expect from a Bitcoin
Farm.
mining computer right now going into one of these farms. At today's current computing power is expected to yield X number of Bitcoins. So we have a risk of computing power going up. You have a risk of Bitcoin price dropping. But based on if all things being equal, computing power stayed the same, you're looking at about 100% return on your investment per year. Right now is average what people are getting out of these farms. So you're looking to make your investment back year one, and then you double your investment, triple your investment year two, like make the same back. And by year three, generally the technology is out of date and the machine won't run anymore.
So you have to buy it re-up, basically.
Re-up.
So
Go ahead. What's your initial outlay?
Your initial outlay, like I said, I think it's around $12,000 US.
Now, are you planning to cash out when you get rewarded Bitcoin, or are you just that's your Bitcoin holdings now?
That's going to be my Bitcoin holdings, and I'm just going to see what happens.
Right.
This is entirely speculation, just a dumb random play. Like I said, I'm going splitsies with a couple friends that are very into this, so it's not like I'm putting out a 12,000 US outlay myself. This is going three ways. But the fun part of all of this is, so if it does work out and we receive the estimated Bitcoin out of this, and Bitcoin, instead of saying at 80,000 Canadian like it is today, it goes to 200,000 Canadian, my return is like 8,000%. And it's way greater than if I had just taken the same amount of money and bought Bitcoin today.
Yeah, totally.
If there's 11 viewers watching this and you want a piece, I'm in for $1,000.
That's all you want?
Yeah.
You just want a Geno?
Well, I want one of everything. I don't need to have a lot of everything.
That's true. He does want one of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Now, I think one of the huge risks is probably computing power.
Yep. That's a huge risk.
But if you make 100% year one,
you've covered your cost of entry.
Yeah, and I think computing power is kind of 1 year is a good estimate of how long it's.
So it's a terrible investment if it takes you a year to make your money back and then you make no money.
Well, but you don't go to zero. Your computing power doesn't go to zero. If it goes to 0.5 maybe, and then to 0.25.
Well, and so here's the thing is, let's say, because there's Bitcoin mining farms all over the world. So let's say China decides that they're going to open up one that doubles that doubles the computing power, right? You're probably going to lose out. But let's say one of these countries that has a bunch of computing power decides they don't want it anymore. That's not happening on their soil, and they shut a bunch down.
Mm-hmm.
What protection do you have that you're getting any money back?
None.
This is, like I said, this is sheer speculation.
Yeah. No, I don't mean from the speculative point of that. I mean is you've sent the money to somebody to buy this piece of equipment, and there's an agreement with you that they are going to pay you whatever your commensurate return is. What is the risk that you sent your money to somebody that decides that they keep your equipment?
So this is a company that's existed for a few years. They take a cut of the Bitcoin collected. That's the whole thing, is they're not putting up the capital to fund all of the CPUs. They've built the warehouse. They'll plug it into their warehouse. They'll distribute it all, but they're taking their cut.
Well, that's fair. But that's my point is that there's another level of risk there is that company.
It's entirely company risk. And then you also have the risk. So they're going to transfer you whatever your Bitcoin allocation is to a wallet.
Yeah.
And there's that whole saying of not your code, not your coin. So it's going to another wallet that's going to be your wallet, but it's a third party. So unless, I don't know, there's a ton of risk, but I'm just super intrigued about the whole thing. So I was like, I have to try this.
Gamble, yeah. So another thing I'm thinking of here is what kind of audit or records are there? I mean, the nice thing about the blockchain is that everything's recorded, like every transaction has a history. So can you audit that company that has your machine and say, how come my machine only made 75% of that machine? Can I see the transactions processed? Or, you know what I mean? Are they just saying I've got 100 of these, I'm dividing this equally, my year return equally amongst the 100 machines? Because you said it's a totally random kind of lottery, which one gets rewarded, right? So does one guy with a machine earn more than another guy with a machine?
It's supposed to be everybody in that farm. The coins that are awarded to that farm are distributed out.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just buying a cow.
When I say cow. Yeah, exactly. And when I say equally, obviously, if somebody owns 10 machines and I own one, they're going to get 10 times what I would.
Yeah. You're owning a piece of farm equipment.
Yes.
Yeah, like a cow, right? If the cow produces
one
milk,
cow, you send it to a dairy farm and you get your cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After they take theirs.
After they take theirs.
Are you gonna name your cow?
I wasn't going to, but I suppose I could.
Stay tuned and comment below what the accountant should name his cow.
This is the thing is I'm so intrigued by it that I was like, I'm willing to throw some money at this because I want to see it through and see how this whole process works. Is this a viable, is the mining, because the mining side is kind of the questionable side about the whole Bitcoin thing, right? So that's why I wanted to figure out, like, is it enough of a reward that people are actually going to keep doing this? Like we're
Right.
using a huge amount of energy and a huge amount of computing power just to do these stupid blocks. Is this a thing that is going to be is the reward going to be worth it?
You know, my trees are a better investment, right?
We
Well,
don't
we're
know.
going to find out.
Yeah,
we're
we
going to
don't
find
know
out.
yet.
We don't know that.
What do you drink in there, accountant?
I got a Talisker Darkstorm.
Oh, nice. I got the Buffalo Trace. So we can't really
Ooh.
compare,
No.
but they're both a tasty beverage. And
Yeah.
the mechanic is who cares?
Yeah. Who cares?
Economist, are you in on this speculation bet with me?
Yeah, I'll take whatever you don't want.
Okay. Well, there you go, listeners and viewers.
We're minors now.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.